fell apart.
Oh, they did.
We are
What's up, y'all? Hey, somebody commented about a week ago saying I should do a reaction video for my channel. And I don't usually do these. Matter of fact, I've never done this before, so this is my first time.
first time.
But before we begin, I want to start something new for my channel called the Comment of the Week. Last week, somebody left a good comment. It said, I just want to say your channel does great things for people and you don't cuss much. And your channel is good, and in the near future, that's what I think he wanted to say, you're gonna have 1 million followers. Hey, I like that. If you want to get comment of the week, go ahead and write one below. I'm gonna incorporate this in all of my videos, so let's go ahead and start the trend now.
Move forward.
Whoa. It's been a while, but I don't remember explosions when I went to basic training. That's different.
This is Air Force
I remember getting
boot
yelled at
camp.
like that. That's normal.
Before they join the United States Air Force or Space Force, all trainees must graduate from the Air Force's 7.5-week basic military.
7.5 weeks, shortest basic training around. When I went through basic training back in 2006, basic training was only 6.5 weeks. That's crazy. And it felt like forever.
Training program known as BMT.
Look, those TIs, the ones with the hats, they had me so scared in basic training. When I finally came back to Lackland like 10 years later to go to recruiting school, I was still scared of them. I'm a whole staff sergeant in the Air Force. I seen them coming. I was like, oh, it's just because the last time I seen them.
Is to motivate, train, and inspire the next generation of airmen to deliver 21st century air power.
Training happens here at Lackland Air Force Base,
Lackland Air
located
Force
just 10
Base.
miles outside of downtown San Antonio, Texas. On a sweltering week in August, insiders spent 4 days observing different squadrons at various stages of training.
Whenever I said I was going Air Force, everybody's like, oh, the Chair Force. Like,
That's what everybody says. Everybody calls Air Force Chair Force. I'm tired of that. I don't like that.
basic's gonna be nothing. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I should have went another route. This is gonna be.
I feel like after all these years, y'all would have came up with something else. Chair Force been around since before I joined the Air Force. It's still here. Stop it.
Way
Stop.
too easy.
You're wearing your failure all over your face.
And I could not have been more wrong.
On day 1, new trainees arrive on a bus from the San Antonio
Y'all see ain't nobody got no Air Force shirts on, right? Don't go to basic
Airport.
training with an Air Force
Some
shirt
of these
on.
kids come here never having left home, no job experience, but not long after they leave here, they're going to be given a job and a task and expected to perform that task with no supervision.
Hey, I tell y'all what, those female TIs at basic training,
There, hug your bags, nothing falls out. That's all this guy.
they be on your
About
bumper.
35,000 trainees graduate from BMT each year.
The average age of a basic trainee here at BMT is 20.6 years old. What that means is they don't remember a time when our nation wasn't at war, but they
I went to basic about 20.6 years old. That's crazy.
raised their hand anyway, and they said they want to serve.
All trainees are sorted into smaller groups
sorry, y'all, I
known
got
as
something in my
flights.
teeth. I'm trying to get it out.
Although training squadrons are composed of both male and female trainees, the flights are divided by gender.
I had a sister flight.
During 0
If anybody from my sister flight see this video, comment below. I ain't talked to y'all since 2006.
week, male trainees receive haircuts. Female trainees
Oh my God, they cut your hair, and when you see yourself in the mirror for the first time, unless you walk around bald just normally, you be like, who is that? I'm telling y'all come up, see yourself in the mirror, be like, oh my God, they shave your mustache, everything.
must wear their hair
you
in
shave
a
your
bun,
mustache.
a ponytail, or up to 2 braids.
Right away, the Air Force wants to get a little muscle on those pretty arms.
Females were first allowed to join the Air Force in limited roles in 1948. And in 1976,
On those little pretty arms, boy, it was different. You catch a case right now saying
began
that.
being accepted on an equal basis with males. Today,
She wasn't even coming up all the
20%
way.
of the Air Force's active duty service members are female, along with about 25% of all trainees at BMT.
They started wearing the hats on top of their PT gear because the sun was hitting them so hard they were getting sunburned. So that's why they have the hats on.
Trainees learn how to line up and
Protect
march in
their
formation
skin.
from their military training instructor, or MTI, which for some can be easier said than done.
Ooh, he out of there.
There you go. Leave it all on the
He
track.
out of there.
Mornings at BMT begin at 0600 with physical
I
training.
actually used to love this part of basic training.
Come on, man. Keep going.
This is like my favorite part of the day.
All right, you're done.
Keep your
All trainees
He
must
didn't come
pass a physical fitness test during the 5th week of their training, which consists of 1 minute each of push-ups and sit-ups.
All you got to do is touch your elbows to some part of your thigh. So if you're watching and you're like, he wasn't even coming all the way up, the Air Force standard, just have some part of your elbow touch your thigh. So
Keep going, gentlemen.
They
I know
kinda
the
flip a
Marines. I know the
switch
Marines and
during
Army
PT
watching
from
like they
MTI to
upset.
personal trainer.
Good job. Good run.
Despicable.
Like they come in and they really encourage you. If you're struggling, they'll tell you like,
Don't
hurry
come
up,
over
let's
here
get this
with all
done,
that
and they'll
negativity.
do it with you.
There you go. Burn through this last lap. There you go.
After morning PT, it's time for
Oh,
breakfast.
man.
No,
We used to have some French toast. They might still have the French toast in basic training, but I tell you what, I don't know if they still make y'all eat fast, but when I went through basic training, you had to eat like in a minute. You trying to eat French toast in a minute? Man.
known as chow. But meals aren't a time for relaxation.
Comment below, are they
Sir,
still
flight
making y'all
727,
eat like in
dormitory
less than a
Alpha 1,
minute,
prepare
or
to
y'all
enter the
get
dining
y'all's
facility
time?
from the west side.
It's the responsibility of the chow runner to announce their flight's arrival to the dining facility.
So that chow runner, that's the person who's gonna get y'all into the dining facility. So if your chow runner can't say those few words to get y'all in the dining facility, y'all gonna be sitting outside waiting.
Going Bravo 6 is prepared to enter the dive facility from the east side. Bring him in and seat him. Bring him in and seat them. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You gotta do the right amount of steps, the right drill movements. You gotta say the right words, or you're gonna get screamed at.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
He said scream with a T.
Chow runners who don't follow procedures correctly may face the wrath of the snake pit, the area where MTIs sit during meals.
You look, stepped out in traffic, then almost.
So that snake pit right there, all that memory work that I've been telling y'all to do before y'all go to basic training, when y'all go through the snake pit, they may grab you and question you about your memory work, and they put all that pressure on you to see how you're gonna react. Learn your memory work.
Because it was not your turn. There's no explanation for it. Back up.
Really, it's an important job because you represent your flight. They put people in there who got confidence issues, to build their confidence.
So you're forgetting to do so is what got you. Stop talking when I'm talking.
You gotta really be stable
Mask fell
to
off
be able
his
to remember everything and then be in that fire and, perform well. After doing it a few times, it get easier.
Attention to detail is a critical aspect of BMT, and it starts in the dormitory. Trainees are expected to keep their living areas and uniforms in pristine condition, and both are inspected
Gotta get those
regularly
scissors,
by
clip
their
all those loose
MTIs.
strings.
There's a plethora of things that they have to make sure are perfect down to the T, and if they aren't, we're gonna.
Oh my God, yeah. So I don't know if they do this, but when I went through basic training, they used to assign duties to everyone. So you had people who were good at rolling t-shirts, people good at rolling socks. I was good at folding drawers. My TI saw my drawers, said, "Who folded your drawers?" I said, "I'm folding my drawers." He said, "You're gonna fold everybody's drawers in the bay." So everybody would drop their drawers off on my bed. I'm talking doo-doo streaks, all of that. They would drop them off on my bed, and the only thing I had to do was fold drawers. I had a whole little system.
Not meet the standard.
Yeah,
they're gonna be
I was a
expected to
drawers
correct
folder.
it.
During 0 week, each trainee is assigned a rifle, which they learn to care for.
My heels.
We didn't get rifles when I went through basic training. We shot, but we didn't get to carry rifles. That's
Pretty
different.
much trying to touch the ground, and I'm facing downrange.
35% of BMT is classroom instruction.
Right now, what you're gonna do is go to the high kneeling position.
Trainees learn the basics of how to hold their rifles in a variety of different shooting positions.
I went to basic training. I ain't never shot a rifle in my life before basic training. the class that they gave us teaching us how to shoot a rifle, I ended up leaving with marksmen. So don't worry, if you can't shoot, they get you right.
Because we're an expeditionary force, and airmen can find themselves in any location around the world really at a moment's notice.
Just
so
breathe.
we have to maintain our qualifications and our
Take your,
service weapon.
be patient, hold your breath. Hey, oh, they look like it.
Nowhere is attention to detail more apparent than in drill practice.
Oh, they look like but look at them.
Drill is a lot of precision and discipline incorporated into certain movements in a formation. We'll say during the first couple weeks of training, they are drinking from a fire hose. The drill is much more difficult for them because they are having an overload of information being given to them.
When y'all first go, that first week or two, it feels like y'all will never be able to understand this stuff because they throw so much at you. But it's the purpose of basic training. They just trying to throw a lot of stress on you, see how you handle it. And then after maybe about 3 weeks in, this stuff doesn't even seem that hard anymore. But when you first go, it's like, what?
Left, right, left.
Typically after the second or third week of training is when it all starts to make a little bit of sense, and around that time is when it looks a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like they taking the words from my mouth.
Training culminates in week 6 with an event known as Beast.
So when I went through
which
his Warrior
stands
Week,
for Basic Expeditionary Airman Skills Training.
Beast puts
where my
them through
Warrior
all
Week
the things
people
that
at?
they have learned in 5.5 to 6 weeks, and we rehearsed it, if you will.
During Beast Week, trainees live in a simulated combat environment and are tested on various field training exercises and scenarios.
I want their backs to hurt, and I want their feet to hurt after that 5 days of training out in the field. Because they need to ingrain to them right now the character. What does it take to be our agile airman and our agile guardian in the United States Air Force?
He said, I want your back to hurt, okay.
During combat arms training and maintenance, trainees learn how to handle and fire an M4 carbine.
Forward! Low.
Trainees first learn how to safely load and fire their weapons in the classroom.
Right. So that classroom is where I learned how to shoot a gun.
Firing range.
And then they give you a couple practice rounds, and that's where you line everything up.
Where they'll fire their weapons from several different positions. Trainees fire a total of 76 rounds and must hit their target on at least 12 of them. Trainees who score 22 or higher qualify as expert.
The reload is out with the old. And with the new. Slap the ping pong paddle, that bow on the side of your gun, and shoot.
If they lose fundamentals, they get frustrated. They tend not to qualify.
You guys ready? Yes, sir. All right, let's do it again. Let's go.
But if you keep them motivated, that part will ensure that they either qualify or get that expert.
There's a sense of accomplishment that when an airman leaves here, that they're confident in holding and operating a weapon. Some people come here, they've never touched any weapon of any kind in their life.
That was me.
That confidence is important to us.
I'm telling you, you can leave out of there
Trainees
marksmen
don
or
gas
experts
masks during CBurn
with never
training,
touching a weapon
where they
before.
learn how to protect them.
Oh my God, the CBurny. Y'all, I made a bet with my dorm chief. We made a bet. I said, if you cough, I said, if you don't cough, I give you $100. This dude take this mask off, breathe in the air, and his prideful self did not cough. I ended up having to pay him $100. That stuff burned.
Themselves during a chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear attack.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Get out of here.
Trainees run through a simulated attack and conduct post-attack reconnaissance of their surrounding area, where they
It's
check
hot
for
too.
damage,
You in that
as
full
well as
mop
any
gear.
unexploded
Oh my
explosive
God.
ordnance. Due to COVID-19
Gonna
protocols,
smell like a gym when you
trainees are
take it
not
off.
exposed to any dangerous chemicals during BMT. But training that does include exposure
Oh my
is
God, I can
scheduled
feel
to
it right now.
return in early 2022.
Low crawling.
24 inches.
I believe it's 97 degrees right now. And
Yeah.
the gear that they're wearing adds about 15 degrees of body heat.
15?
So
Hell
it's
nah.
challenging both physically and mentally.
I know it's hot. I know it's
About 45. said 15 degrees. No, you cooking.
I remember the first time I put on a gas mask and how cool I thought it was. But there's no doubt that after wearing that gear for a few hours, especially in the Texas heat, they probably get tired of it pretty quickly. I like to joke with some of my
In about 30 seconds.
The best part of Seaburn is returning the gear at the end of the day.
LDP1. What is LDP1?
You could smell the
Figuring out
stank.
how to coordinate with your team, that would be the most difficult part, especially in like all that really clunky gear. It's hard to move around, but it was still fun.
Trainees are also trained in tactical casualty.
Now, see, we didn't get to do this.
TCCC.
They get to, y'all get to fight each other, or not fight each other, but
life-saving first
do
aid
combat with each other.
Once I go through once, I'm gonna go back the opposite direction.
All right, this is the self-aid buddy car. I'm sorry, we got to do
Trainees
that.
learn how to properly apply tourniquets, as well as how to evacuate
Not on a real doll though.
Safety.
We did it on each other.
Skills they'll need to know when it comes to the culminating event of Beast Week, simply known as the Village. The trainee's mission is to infiltrate the village and rescue an injured airman located somewhere inside.
He did.
But the sounds of gunfire and explosives, along with the presence of
What part of basic training is that? This ain't my basic training. I didn't go through this.
Role players acting as opposing forces and innocent
y'all shooting
make for a stressful
bombs.
We all kind of rushed in and then didn't really know what to do. We were all just kind of like looking around like, what the heck is going on?
We had a plan and then it completely fell apart. Like as soon as we walked through, pretty much, it fell apart.
Oh, they did.
We are responsible for throwing the different scenarios at them, having them feel the pressure while they're out here at the village. That way they can use their minds and think about what it is that we've taught them and trained them on in a scenario where they're actually under pressure.
She dead. You heard. Put a tourniquet.
Put your fingers. Put your feet.
Trainees are taught how to defuse situations with opposing forces and are instructed to use minimal force on those who are non-compliant.
Using deadly force.
What are you doing? They don't comply.
Using deadly force. Oh, you dead.
Cause some trainees to freeze.
He gonna take your gun. He took your gun.
Or overreact.
Drop your weapon on the ground.
Put your hands up.
Some of the things that I see most
got his finger
which is very detrimental to our force is trainees utilizing deadly force when they're not supposed to be.
Why did you shoot me?
You have a grenade in your hand and a weapon in your hand, sir.
But how did you know it was a grenade? You're that far away, you don't know. And I'm not pointing my weapon at you. Why would you shoot me?
Obviously, we all know that's against code. It sets us back in a mission that we're trying to accomplish overseas.
Bang.
Bang, you did.
Common mistakes, not forming that 360-degree perimeter. I see that all the time.
Hey, wingman. Bang.
You did.
What are you doing right now?
No 360-degree perimeter. I want them to make mistakes. I want to correct those mistakes and tell them this is why it was a mistake and move forward from it.
Y'all are all trained to TCCC, right? Somebody send this down airman then.
Once the trainees reach the injured airman, they must quickly and safely apply TCCC.
Wake up. Calm down and think.
Before evacuating them to safety.
You guys ready? We're going this way. Let's go.
Hey, this is why we train out here. This is why we
Man,
harp on all
that's
of those
different,
things.
y'all. I'm sorry, I was engaged. I don't remember that.
All of this stuff comes into play, whether you're here or downrange, and you have to apply real world. Hey, if you shoot somebody out in the desert and they didn't have opportunity, capability, and intent, you're going to Leavenworth.
Leavenworth is a big jail. That's a big military jail. So they saying if you kill somebody and you didn't have to kill them, they gonna send you to jail. I made a video before saying if you join the Air Force to kill people, don't.
Mistakes. That way they can make them here where it's a safe environment and actually leave the village with a different understanding of where they need to work on themselves.
Good job.
Having survived Beast Week, the trainees return to base with the toughest week of BMT behind them.
They see it often as a rite of passage. They've been out there, they've achieved that difficult thing. So by the time they come back from Beast, there's a new sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Friends and family gather to see their new airmen and guardians.
They also about to graduate. When you come back from Beast, you about to graduate. So it's like you done got through the hardest part.
Just 7 weeks, which is not very long. It can
Look
make
at
such a
him.
difference in someone's life.
Hey, those graduations are A1. When you go there, after all the stress you done been through for basic training and you see your family, they got the music playing, the ceremony is great. And is you get emotional. If you got any type of emotion in you, you get a little emotional. So definitely look forward to that. That's a great experience.
They walk a different way. They talk a different way.
He mad. Look at him. He mad.
And the pride that they obviously have after having gone through this is so clear and it's so
Yo,
evident.
he a whole warrior. Okay, yeah. Oh, hit it. That's a good feeling right there. Look, see? You done been through hell.
After graduating from basic military training, airmen and guardians head to technical school to start the next chapter in their
My tech
journey
school was in
to the
Wichita
US
Falls
Air Force and
when I
Space
went to
Force.
E&E, Electrical and Environmental School.
Those who joke about us being the chair force, I would tell you, well, it's easier to sit on a chair than it is to sit on a rock. We must outthink.
Easier to sit on a chair than it is to sit on a rock.
Think our enemies.
I gotta
every
come back to
single
that.
day and how we fight. But what I would tell those who joke is to stand the post because we have a nation to defend.
Yeah, I definitely agree with him. That chair for stuff it be pissing me off. Oh, that's it. Okay, that was dope. I haven't been to basic training since 2006, so you hear about all the changes, but I haven't actually seen it. So that's actually cool to see. But yeah, I hope y'all like my reaction video. If y'all want to see more of this, just let me know. Like I always say, I hope this video brought value to you. Stay beautiful, stay classy, and until next time, check me out.